What's up, ASCTE? Today we're going to go through setting up the Windows machine. This is something that many of you have already done, so if you already have a working Windows machine that can ping out to the internet and is using the router as a gateway, then you do not need to watch this. I'm really just recording this so that students in the future will have the ability to watch this when they first get started on this project also. So to get started, we'll first need a Windows virtual machine, of course. So we will go and Google how to get that, which is just, we'll be using the MS Edge VM from Microsoft. And that will take us to this MS Edge developer site, which we will select stable 1809, and we want it for VMware. And then we'll just click this download zip button. This is a 7 gig file, so it will be quite large, and you should do this at least one day before class time. So once you get that, it should be in your downloads folder, which, if I can find mine, you will see it right here. And in order to extract it, you just right click on it and go to extract all. So, and once that happens, which will take a little while, I had mine extracted to a documents folder, or folder in my documents folder, which is where I'm putting all my install media for this project. So you click in there until you get here, and then you go into that one, right click on it, and select VMware Player. I have VMware Workstation on my machine, but many of you will not have that. So up here in bold, it should just say VMware Player, and you can go ahead and click on that. But if not, there should be an open with menu a little bit lower. You select that, and it will bring up a virtual machine, and it will ask you for some information like the name of the VM. So I will just call mine Windows, and I'm going to say host because I'm on a host-only network. And then I'll import that, and that will take a little while to import. So I will pause the video, and when it gets done, I'll pick it back up. Alright, the system's got done importing, and now it's booting up for the first time. In a second here, we will log in. Alright, and to log in, we basically just double click, and the default user is IE user, and the password is a default password with a 0 for the O and an exclamation mark at the end. So we'll log in with that. Okay, great. It's come up, and of course it's giving us the alert letting us know that we have our username and our password, and that this is going to be good for 90 days. But at the end of that 90-day period, there's absolutely no problem with just importing another one after you blow this one away, and just using that image. So just keep in mind that you don't want to put anything that you want to keep on this network or on this system. So VMware Tools did some things, and it's going to need to reboot, so we'll do that. We'll allow it to restart. Alright, the system's restarted. I paused the video so you guys wouldn't have to sit back and watch a Windows system boot. So now we'll type our password in, which is, as you remember, is, I think it's nope, it was a capital P, that's right. There we go. Alright, so in order for this to work on our network that we're going to create, we need to do a few things. First thing we need to do is go up here to this player button and go to manage and virtual machine settings, and we need to highlight the network adapter and switch it to host only. And this will remove any internet access from the system. So, alright, then we're going to need to open up a command prompt. System catch up for a second. Okay, it should be fine now. CMD to get a command prompt, and we'll type in ipconfig, and it should look like this. Obviously not with the same IP address, but it will have an IP address and a subnet mask, and there should be no default gateway. So in this case, I have 192.168.19.132 with a 24-bit subnet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that my static IP address in Windows. So the way I always get to the network configuration screen is I go to a File Explorer, then I right-click on Network, and I go to Properties, then Change Adapter Settings, and then it will give me a list of my adapters, and then I go to Properties again. So let's see, then I'll double click on this TCP IPv4. I'll change this to use the following IP address. Remind myself 19.132. And we'll keep subnet mask should stay the same. We can hit OK. And now we are given a static IP address. We would have the ability to create our own DHCP server, but given that we're using VMware Workstation Player, it'll be very difficult to disable its DHCP server for ours. So just to keep things stable, I want to just make sure that we're just not going to use DHCP for this exercise. So okay, so that's what we've done. Just to recap, we need to take the player, the machine, set its network adapter to host only, and then we need to go into the network manager and go to properties and set a static IP address, and after that our system will be ready, and once we build the router we'll be able to configure the default gateway. Thanks a lot everybody, and good luck putting your VM together.